Hello everyone and welcome to Game 2 in the series between Shortstuff and Grubby. Game 2 taking place here on Ohana. And all I have to say is if you guys did not watch Game 1, watch it. If you guys did watch Game 1, watch it again. Yeah, support me. Once again, I want to thank you guys, everyone out there. Please remember to like my videos. Please remember to comment. I'm not exactly sure how YouTube searches work, but sometimes some of my videos will be like, yeah, 100,000 views. And the majority of my videos are like, yeah, I think I'll get like 3,000. So not quite sure how all of that works. But that last game, definitely very entertaining. And I'm not going to give it away who won, but there is a player who is up 1-0 in this series. I will give that spoiler later on in the game when I do a recap. So spoiler alert at the very end. But by that point, you should have already stopped and watched Game 1. Alright, Grubby looking to go for a Forge Fast expansion here on Ohana. Makes sense. Shortstuff spawning over here on the top left-hand side. Almost gave something away. Shortstuff on the top left-hand side. And we'll be going for a spawning pool first now. And with this, is Grubby once again going to try to go for a Nexus first as he did in Game 1? Now, I'm not quite sure about the walking distances. And each build, the rate at the level and the rate and level at which these players play, each build is different depending on the map because of the walking distances. Now, if you're one of those players who are trying to emulate and mimic what high-level players are doing, like, yeah, I saw Grubby do this crazy build on Daybreak, and I tried it on Ohana, and I died. Why? The reason really just could be 3 seconds in walking time between one base and another. We're going to be seeing the Forge is coming down already. We most likely will see a Photon Cannon first. And after that Photon Cannon, or perhaps a Nexus first. Now, yeah, Nexus first. As we are taking a look around, the probe going to be coming back down over here, making sure that a hatchery is coming in. Grubby now just wandering around. And is he actually going to be going for a cannon? The drone is off over here. And is he going to be able to do the block? Yes, he is able to do the block. And now there is a pylon as well, adding insult to injury. But I believe that pylon will simply get canceled. Yes, canceled there. 75 resources refunded as the Zerglings still chasing that one probe. Now the probe should be able to get back home with little to no effort. May take a little bit of structural damage, but besides that, no real worry there. Yep, only lost some shields there, so still has a little bit of structural life to it as the probe now trying to get back up that ramp. It should get here with no problem, and then even if it just holds position right there, those Zerglings are not going to be able to do much of anything. Photon Cannon already there as well. Zerglings dancing around. They are not trying to attack that back door as the probe once again tries to slip out, and no, the Zerglings push him away. So a little bit of a small dance going back and forth. As we can see, the Nexus was placed down significantly earlier than that hatchery. Alright, the Overlord does know about that natural expansion, and the question now will be, when will this hatchery be placed down? Shortstuff in Game 1 actually placed his third base sometime around the 8-minute mark. That is rather late for Zerg players, as I know some Zerg players really try to get that down, about around the 4-minute mark, 4 to 5-minute mark, right when they know that their opponent is going for a Forge Fast expansion themselves. We're going to see the probe still wandering around down over here. Zerglings making their way over, and they're just going to clear that out and make sure that there are no proxy pylons anywhere on the map, at least in this neck of the woods. Now, Grubby, he really likes using a low ground pylon here and then placing, I believe, 3 gateways right here, just trying to maximize your surface, maximize your base area. And we're going to see how that is going to work out as Shortstuff now taking a slight economic lead, as he will be training up 6 drones at a time, 7 drones at a time, but he is also going into triple extractors. Very interesting play, as he is yet to upgrade to tier 2 yet. We should see, yes, the upgrade to layer now happening, and with that upgrade to layer, we might be seeing a Spire. with the amount of gas that Shortstuff is currently collecting, if he throws 3 drones on each gas, it takes another 60 seconds for this to be completed, another 100 seconds for the spire to be completed. So that is almost 180. I'll round it off to 180 just because sometimes your timings are off in terms of building that spire. And with that, you can get about 1200 gas. 1200 gas, the magic number for 1200 Mutalisks, obviously, as Grubby going to know that something is awry since there is nothing here at the third. An attack has to be coming in, some sort of tech play, and where is that spire? Please let me be right, otherwise it could be Hydralisks or Infestors, but that would be rather strange at this point. Infestation Pit, alright, so I cannot predict anything as Shortstuff throwing me a curveball and going for an earlier Infestation Pit. We're seeing that Grubby is getting up level 2 weapons upgrade, and he's getting level 2 weapons upgrade as level 1 weapons upgrade or armor upgrades already coming in from Zerg. So Shortstuff, even if he finishes that level 1 weapons upgrade, is going to be a little bit behind as long as Grubby chrono boosts out that Forge level 1 weapons upgrade pretty consistently. He has the energy across both Nexi or Nexuses, and we're going to be seeing what's happening here. Alright, Gateway and Twilight Council is researching that all-important blink. We are going into pathogen glands, and this is a heavy gas play coming in from Shortstuff, and he is researching Burrow. So what we might see, which would be a really strange maneuver, is Infestors coming up the back door here and then trying to take down the natural expansion. We saw Shortstuff was very very effective with Infestors in game 1, and he might be trying to repeat that success here in game 2. Zealot able to take down a Zergling in a couple of hits there. Nicely done. Pathogen glands, 5 Infestors already being added, but it really feels like a lot more Infestors should already be out on the field. Now going into 6, we are getting about 400 gas a minute, maybe 480 gas a minute. So that means every 20 seconds or so, maybe every 25 seconds, we are able to see an Infestor being trained. Overseer, I believe, dropped in a Changeling somewhere, as we are now seeing some Zerglings make their way down. Oh, there is an Observer now in the field. We are going into more and more Infestors. Where are these Infestors going to go? The Infestors currently being used offensively, I believe, as we're going to see these destructible rocks get taken down in a second. A Queen will be able to snipe down this Observer in just a matter of seconds. I believe the Infestors tried to hide themselves, but and perhaps the Observer was able to catch sight and spot that there, as there are now 6 Infestors on the field. Shortstuff did lose 1 Overseer back over here, and we are seeing some creep being laid down across the map. Zerglings, Shortstuff with superior map control, and we'll see what will be happening here as some Stalkers taking down and sniping another Overlord. So far, all we have is some Changelings here, some Zerglings now trying to catch those Stalkers, some beautiful force fields, as those Stalkers will be able to survive a little bit longer as we are going into a pylon back down here. The Infestors have to be very careful though. Grubby keeping track of those Infestors, wanting to make sure that they don't actually do any sneaky sort of play. Infestors, 7 of them on the field, and at this point, I'm wondering what Shortstuff's strategy is. He knows that Grubby does not have his third base operational just quite yet, so he doesn't feel too concerned about the economic game. But surprisingly, Shortstuff has not taken up his gas over here at his third. Harvester count 62 to 61 as Stalkers are able to blink straight up onto the high ground. And oh, what is this? A beautiful play here as Infested Terrans now trying to come in, and all the sentries are trying to back away. This is going to be a very sad day indeed, as we are going to see another fungal growth and some Infested Terrans taking down so many sentries. And now Zerglings coming in for a quick surround to try to take down this expansion here. Some beautiful smart micro by Shortstuff. And Shortstuff able to really just take down and handle that warp prism and that sentries. That is very, very expensive units, and Grubby really felt the loss there. You can see now swinging in favor of Shortstuff. So far, Shortstuff still has yet to complete, or now, excuse me, yet to take these gas. Just now taking these gas here. Meanwhile, Grubby is still just transferring probes off to the natural, or to this third base as the Zerglings are making their way in. All of these High Templars, could have a very bad day. Feedback hitting a bunch of Infestors, though not quite sure why we didn't see a fungal growth as more and more Infested Terrans now coming in. There is 1 Photon Cannon, 2 Photon Cannons already out. Infested Terrans going to finish this off. The Infested Terrans have 0-1 upgrades. Very, very decent DPS as the Stalkers are now chasing after those Infestors. The Infestors now moving significantly slower as those Infestors are now making their way back up. The Nexus looks like it was cancelled as Grubby once again will be delayed another 100 seconds or so as the last Infestor tries to make its way back on creep and unable to do so. Stalkers, Infestors still running around, and the Zerglings may be able to clean this up. There is another fungal growth. Grubby moving out a little bit too far with his Stalkers and gets cleaned up. Harvester count or income is currently 2,000 versus 1960. 12 drones now being added, and Shortstuff going to be getting closer to that magical 70 to 80 mark. Drones now making their way over here to the 3 o'clock location. Warp Prism going to try to do a drop and clean up some drones inside the main base. The Zealots, I believe, have level 3 weapons upgrade, so they will be able to 2-shot drones barring any natural regeneration. What is that building? Okay, evolution. A third evolution chamber coming in. All right, no, actually that's the second evolution chamber. Zealots now doing a drop here, and natural regeneration. We see that, and as it's happening, a queen now trying to make its way around. The Zealots not getting any serious kills at all, as a drone with natural regeneration able to stay alive once more. Shortstuff is sitting on a very large amount of resources, and he is larva limited right now, not hitting his injects nearly as often as he should, it appears, and not even having a queen over here to tend to this one particular hatchery. I would like to see Shortstuff getting a little bit more creep tumors to spread out faster and have better map control, as the Observer now once again making its way inside the main, taking a look around. All right, drones now being transferred off to, I believe, this third or fourth base over here. Third expansion, fourth base here at the 3 o'clock location. The main bases have pretty much been mined out. 4 mineral patches are left. Perhaps a couple of drones will finish that off, as we now see a major attack force coming in from Shortstuff. Shortstuff with about I would say a 50% advantage over Grubby, as Infested Terrans now getting dropped off. Infested Swarm Eggs, here we go. So much DPS, so much damage absorption, as the Roaches are just simply pushing their way in. Force Fields not going to be that effective, as the Roaches are simply being able to push their way through. No burrow move though, as the Roaches are just trading themselves to free up some supply. Stalkers, probes are getting taken down. The exchange may be going well for Grubby, but he doesn't have that many units, and he's going to be losing this Nexus. I take it back, not going well at all. I thought he would perhaps be able to trade a little bit more effectively, but he is going to be losing a lot of his Stalkers and a lot of probes. Taking a look off over here, it looks as though, yes, another unit will get taken down, and Shortstuff is currently just in a dominant control of this game. 161 supply compared to 84, 73 drones versus 50 probes, but more importantly, the resource difference is about 50% better for Shortstuff. We're seeing a new Nexus being placed down. A very heavy saturation over here at the natural expansion. Stalkers and Zealots making their way in once more. Observer giving sight. There are some larvae, but there's not much of a bank for Shortstuff, as Shortstuff needs to figure out what his next plan of attack will be. Even though Shortstuff has more than 70-80 supply difference between the two armies, he does not want to just simply throw away his advantage. Trying to attack at the front door here, and both sides in very, very large numbers. is not going to be good for Shortstuff, as Shortstuff does have limited range. Roaches with a range of 4, Zerglings with only melee range, as the Archons and Stalkers are going to be a little bit better. As now, here we go, a lot of infested Terrans forcing that line to be pushed, and this is where the better range is coming in from Shortstuff, as we're seeing the Roaches continue to push in once more. Infestor is going to try to clean this up here. Stalkers doing their best to take down all of the Infestors. The Infestors should just simply burrow and go home at this point, as they are simply out of energy. Infested Terrans need to make a move and attack. It looks like another Nexus will get taken down, as the Infestors are doing that slow march over here. We are now sitting on a 2-base Grubby versus a 4-base Shortstuff, and Grubby, does he realize how far behind he is? He does know how many bases his opponent has, but then again, Grubby doesn't like to give up until the very end. Shortstuff, let's take a look here. He is now establishing a new base at the 9 o'clock position and says GG. So Grubby loses game 2 in the series, and spoiler alert, we are now all tied up at 1 game apiece. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.